Hello students, welcome to Department of Collegiate and Technical Education Learning Management System program. Myself Dr. Timmegowda NR, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Chemistry, Government Sri Krishna Rajendra Silver Jubilee Technological Institute, KR Circle, Bangalore. In my Session 1 video lecture, I am going to explain the BTU Engineering Chemistry Theory Module 1, Electrochemistry and Energy Storage Systems. The complete syllabus of Module 1 includes the use of free energy in chemical equilibria, thermodynamic functions, definitions of free energy and entropy, cell potential, derivation of Nernst equation for single electrode potential, numerical problems on electrode potential, standard electrode potential and EMF of cell. Next, electrochemical energy systems, in which reference electrodes, introduction, construction, working and applications of calomel electrode, ion selective electrode, definition, construction and principle of glass electrode and determination of pH using glass electrode, electrolyte concentration cells and numerical problems. Next, energy storage systems. Introduction, classification of batteries such as primary, secondary and reserve batteries, construction, working and applications of nickel metal hydride and lithium ion batteries. The Session 1 content includes Introduction to Electrochemistry, Thermodynamic Functions, First Law of Thermodynamics and Definition of Free Energy, Second Law of Thermodynamics and Definition of Entropy. I am starting this session with a question: is electrochemistry is important to study? The answer is yes, because in our day-to-day activities, we are using many devices which are working on the principle of electrochemistry. I will mention few of them. For example, battery is a key device which is used for many applications of our day-to-day activities. From voltaic pile to lithium-ion battery, the evolution of electrochemistry research is responsible for the lithium-ion battery. Hence, in 2019, the Nobel Prize in Chemistry awarded for the discovery of lithium-ion battery. As we know that nowadays, the chemical fuel cars are replacing with electrical cars, and also other petrol or diesel vehicles are replaced with electrical vehicles. So these electrical vehicles are working with the help of batteries and fuel cells. It is again electrochemistry application. And other very important application of electrochemistry is electroplating. This electroplating, the technique we will use mainly for two important applications: to get decorative appearance of the metals and also to prevent the corrosion of metals. And the electrochemistry we can use for the construction of sensors, biosensors, and these sensors working on the principle of electrochemistry, and we can use this for the identification of concentration of many elements, and also for to identify different concentrations of materials in environmental samples also. These are few applications I am going to mention here, but a lot more applications are available with electrochemistry. Then, what is electrochemistry? Electrochemistry is the relation between electricity and chemical reactions. Here electricity is nothing but movement of electrons, and chemical reactions are mainly in electrochemistry you will consider oxidation and reduction reactions. There are two ways in which electricity and chemical reactions are related. The first one, certain spontaneous chemical reactions will produce electricity. The chemical reactions will produce electricity. For example, galvanic cells and household batteries, which converts the chemical energy into electrical energy through chemical reactions. And the second way of relation is by using electricity we can bring out some non-spontaneous chemical reactions. Example, the electrolysis of water we can achieve by applying electricity. So it is a non-spontaneous reaction, but if we apply electricity, then we can conduct electrolysis of water, and then the water will undergo decomposition and gives hydrogen and oxygen. And also in our rechargeable batteries, we will apply electricity to bring out non-spontaneous chemical reactions. The definition of electrochemistry is, it is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of production of electricity from energy released during spontaneous chemical reactions, and the use of electrical energy to bring out non-spontaneous chemical reactions. I repeat the definition of electrochemistry. Electrochemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of production of electricity from energy released during spontaneous chemical reactions, and the use of electrical energy to bring out non-spontaneous chemical reactions. So what is the history of electrochemistry? Many scientists worked to identify the electricity. Among them, in 1780, Italian physician Luigi Galvani in University of Bologna, he was working on bioelectricity. While dissecting a frog which is fixed to a copper hook, and he touched the frog leg with his iron knife, then the leg of the dead frog was moved or twitched, and Galvani is surprised, and he believed the energy for the leg contraction of dead frog came from the leg itself, and he believed that electricity created within the animal, and he called it as animal electricity. But in 1800, another Italian physicist, Alessandro Volta, proved that Galvani is wrong, and he proved that the leg's movements was not caused by an animal electricity, but it is due to the difference in electrode potential of two dissimilar metals like iron and copper he used, which are connected to the animal tissue. And he explained the same experiment by taking copper and zinc discs, which are separated by a cloth which is soaked in salty water, and he demonstrated the production of electricity. So his experiment is the conversion of chemical reactions into electricity. Hence, the first true battery was invented by the Italian physicist Alessandro Volta in the year 1800. The second relation is electricity to chemical reactions. So this is achieved by the England scientists Nicholson and Carlisle. The process of electrolysis by passing a direct current through a water. The next concept is electrochemical cells. What are electrochemical cells? Electrochemical cell is a device which converts the chemical energy into electrical energy or electrical energy into chemical energy. That means the use of electrical energy to bring out non-spontaneous chemical reactions. Electrochemical cells classified into two types. They are galvanic or voltaic cell and electrolytic cell. What are galvanic cells? The galvanic cells are devices which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Example, the Daniell cell and common household batteries. So as you know that the Daniell cell, which is made up of two half cells, here the first half cell, which is made up of the zinc metal immersed in zinc sulfate solution, and other half cell made up of the copper metal immersed in copper sulfate solution, and these two half cells are externally connected through a conductor and internally connected through a sword bridge. Then the zinc undergoes oxidation reaction and it releases electrons, and copper undergoes the copper 2 plus ions present in copper sulfate solution, which undergoes reduction reaction and become neutral copper and deposited on the metal surface. So why zinc undergoes oxidation and copper ions undergo reduction? That is, we can explain based on standard reduction potential values. So here the standard reduction potential of zinc, that is minus 0.76 volt, and standard reduction potential of copper, that is plus 0.34 volt. Lower the reduction potential, that material will undergo oxidation and it is called anode, and higher the reduction potential value and that material undergo reduction and it is called cathode. So this is about galvanic cells. And what are electrolytic cells? Electrolytic cells are the devices which converts electrical energy into chemical energy. That is nothing but electrical energy is supplied to bring out non-spontaneous chemical reactions. Example, the decomposition of water into hydrogen and oxygen, that is electrolysis of water, by supplying suitable voltage. And electroplating, it is another example for electrolytic cell, is done using an electrolytic cell. And the rechargeable batteries. So if we consider rechargeable batteries, these are working both as galvanic cell and electrolytic cell. While using the battery, which behaves as galvanic cell because which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. But when charging the battery, which behaves as electrolytic cell because which converts that electrical energy, or electrical energy is consumed to bring out the non-spontaneous chemical reactions. The next concept is thermodynamics. So what is thermodynamics? The word thermodynamics, it is derived from Greek word thermi, the meaning is heat, and dynamikos, the meaning is motion or power. This thermodynamics deals with heat, work, temperature, and their relation to energy, and also interconversion of heat and other forms of energy. Interconversion of heat and other forms of energy. The thermodynamics can be used to describe how systems respond to changes in their environment. And as you know that the various forms of energy are interrelated, and under certain conditions these can be transformed or converted from one form to another form. I will explain in next slides about this concept. And thermodynamics can be expressed in terms of temperature, internal energy, entropy, and heat. First law of thermodynamics. The energy of an isolated system is constant. It is commonly stated as law of conservation of energy. That means energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but only it can be transformed from one form to another form. If you look at the picture here, when the person is here, he is having that potential energy. When start moving, that potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. When he stopped at this stage, then he has potential energy, and again when he start moving, that potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. So here, when the ball is in hand, that has potential energy. When it drop down, then that potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. And here the plants will convert that light energy into chemical energy. And if we eat that vegetables and other things, that chemical energy is converted into again the chemical energy converted into kinetic energy. And you can see here, when it starts flowing this water, that kinetic energy, and from that kinetic energy the rotation of turbines, and it will convert that kinetic energy into the electrical energy. So from all these picture we can understand that the one form of energy we can convert into other forms of energy. That is explained by first law of thermodynamics. The expression for first law of thermodynamics is delta U is equal to Q plus W, where delta U is equal to change in internal energy, and Q is heat, W is work. If there is no transfer of energy as either heat or work, that means isolated system, if that is the condition, then change in internal energy is zero. So this is about first law of thermodynamics. And free energy. So what is free energy and why it is important? To know whether the reaction is either spontaneous. Spontaneous means without any external force. The reaction, it takes place on its own without any external force. That is spontaneous. To know whether the reaction is spontaneous or not, the new thermodynamic function is introduced, that is free energy. The definition of free energy is, it is a thermodynamic function. It is the amount of internal energy of the system which is available to perform useful work at constant temperature. So if you look at the picture here, the free energy is more. and greater work capacity is here. When it comes to this stage, the free energy is less, so less work capacity. So the Gibbs free energy is given by G is equal to H minus Ts, or the change in Gibbs free energy delta G is equal to delta H minus T into delta S, where G is Gibbs free energy, H is enthalpy, T is absolute temperature, S is entropy, and product of temperature and entropy, that is energy which is not available to perform work. The very important thing is when delta G is negative, that indicates the reaction is spontaneous reaction, and delta G is positive, then the reaction is non-spontaneous, and delta G value is equal to 0, then that reaction is at equilibrium. This concept is very important for electrochemistry. While the first law of thermodynamics gives only the information about the quantity of energy transferred in a process, but it fails to provide any information about the direction of energy transfer. So the first law, it explains only about the quantity of energy transferred in a process, but it did not explain the direction of energy transfer. Hence, the second law of thermodynamics is introduced. The second law of thermodynamics introduces the notation of entropy, which is a measure of system disorder. The entropy predicts the direction of spontaneous process and determines whether the reactions are irreversible or impossible to reverse. The second law of thermodynamics states that any spontaneously occurring process will always lead to an increase in entropy of the universe. I will repeat. The second law of thermodynamics states that any spontaneously occurring process will always lead to an increase in the entropy of the universe. We can see some of the examples here. The heat transfer always from hot substances to cold substances. So here you can see here the air leaks from the balloon on its own. It is a spontaneous process. So here entropy is more, and once it comes out, the disorderness increases. So from these examples we can define the second law of thermodynamics. So what is entropy and what is the use? The entropy predicts the direction of spontaneous process. And definition: entropy is a thermodynamic function and it is a measure of the unavailable energy in a closed thermodynamic system. It represents unavailable energy in a thermodynamic system. So the expression for entropy, the change in entropy is equal to entropy of final state minus entropy of initial state, and also we can express it as delta S is equal to delta Q divided by T. Very important concept we can observe here. When change in entropy is positive, then that process is a spontaneous process. When change in entropy is negative, that indicates that process is non-spontaneous process. When change in entropy is equal to 0, that means that system is in equilibrium. So this is important. The total change in entropy for a system in any reversible process is 0. And the entropy for spontaneous process increases till it reaches maximum, and at equilibrium the change in entropy is 0. So we observed some of the examples in previous slide. The entropy for spontaneous process increases. So you can see here, when ice converted into water, it's a natural process. Here the entropy is less, and when it converted into water, the disorderness increases. In spontaneous chemical reactions, entropy increasing. So we can observe here in ice, more order, the water molecules are in more order, but once it converted into water, it becomes disorder. Hence the entropy for spontaneous process increases till it reaches maximum, and at equilibrium the change in entropy is 0. And the SI unit for entropy is joules per Kelvin. So this is about the concept entropy. I will stop my session 1 here, and I will go through some of the multiple choice questions covered on this session. The question number 1. Electrochemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of option A, conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy. Option B, use of electrical energy to bring out chemical reactions. Option C, both option A and B. Option D, none of the above. As we know that electrochemistry, which deals with both conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy as well as electrical energy into chemical reactions. So the right answer is option C. Question number 2. Galvanic cells converts option A, chemical energy into electrical energy. Option B, electrical energy into chemical energy. Option C, light energy into electrical energy. Option D, all the above. So as we know, galvanic cells converts chemical energy into electrical energy. The right answer is option A. Question number 3. During charging, mobile battery function as option A, galvanic cell. Option B, electrolytic cell. Option C, both galvanic and electrolytic cell. Option D, all the above. During charging means we are supplying electricity. Therefore, it is electrolytic cell. The right answer is option B. It is electrolytic cell. Question number 4. Electrolytic cell converts option A, chemical energy into electrical energy. Option B, electrical energy into chemical energy. Option C, light energy into electrical energy. Option D, all the above. As we discussed, electrolytic cells converts electrical energy to chemical energy. Hence, the right answer is option B. Let's move to the next question. Question number 5. For spontaneous reaction, change in entropy, option A, delta S is positive. Option B, delta S is negative. Option C, both option A and B. Option D, none of the above. The right answer is option A. For a spontaneous reaction, the change in entropy is positive. Next question. Question number 6. During usage of laptop computer, the battery function as option A, galvanic cell. Option B, electrolytic cell. Option C, both galvanic and electrolytic cell. Option D, all the above. So during usage of laptop computer, so we are that electrical the here we should observe here, during usage of laptop computer, that behaves as the conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy. Hence the right answer is, the suitable right answer is option A. The reference materials you can go through are here, and I will stop this session 1 here, and I will continue the remaining syllabus in next session. Thank you one and all.